Hey guys, let's get more news from Miami Heat, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. After missing 10 games with knee issue, Heat's Caleb Martin expected to return Thursday versus Nets. Already riding a 6-game winning streak, the Miami Heat is about to get one of its top reserves back from injury. Forward Caleb Martin is on track to make his return for the Heat in Thursday's matchup against the Brooklyn Nets at Kaseya Center, 7:30 p.m., Bally Sports Sun, NBA TV. Martin, 28, first felt the pain in his left knee during off-season workouts in the weeks leading up to training camp. He was then a limited participant during a few training camp practices, was held out of the Heat's red, white and pink inter-squad scrimmage on October 9 and missed the Heat's first 4 preseason games. But Martin started feeling better after taking that time to rest his knee and took part in the Heat's 5th and final preseason game. Martin then played in the Heat's season-opening win over the Detroit Pistons on October 25. But he hardly looked like himself on either end of the court, finishing with 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting from the field in 20 minutes off the bench. So, the decision was made to hold out Martin for the last 10 games to allow for his knee pain to diminish. Martin, who can become a free agent this upcoming summer with a $7.1 million player option in his contract for next season, is expected to be used as one of the Heat's top reserves this season. He averaged career highs in points, 9.6 per game, rebounds, 4.8, and assists, 1.6, last regular season. With Martin expected to return, the only Heat players ruled out for Thursday's game against the Nets are Tyler Herro, sprained right ankle, Jamal Cain, G-League assignment, and R.J. Hampton, sprained right knee. The Nets will be without Armoni Brooks, G-League assignment, Noah Clowney, G-League assignment, Keon Johnson, G-League assignment, Ben Simmons, lower back nerve impingement, Cam Thomas, sprained left ankle, Derek Whitehead, G-League assignment, and Jalen Wilson, G-League assignment, for Thursday's game in Miami. Miami Heat's Jaime Jaquez benefiting from 4 years at UCLA. The Miami Heat were banking on rookie Jaime Jaquez's experience to make an immediate impact player. So far, he hasn't disappointed. Jaquez had 17 points and 5 rebounds in 33 minutes in Tuesday's win against the Charlotte Hornets. He is averaging 9.1 points in 22 minutes this season as a rotation player. "I'm just learning as I go," Jaquez said. "This is a game that I've played my entire life. This is all I've ever wanted to do. I knew when I got my chance I was going to be ready. That's why I did 4 years of college, to prepare for this so I could be ready and confident in my abilities." Jaquez played 4 seasons at UCLA, allowing him to develop as a player. He was the Pac-12 Player of the Year as a senior. His experience was the main reason the Heat chose him late in the first round in the June draft. After overcoming injuries in the summer and training camp, Jaquez has become a valuable asset. "At the beginning, it was a little slow," Jaquez said. "I was coming back from injury. It's just the little things, don't turn it over, make the right play to earn trust in the coach. That's just all I try to do." Shandell Richardson covers the Miami Heat for Inside the Heat, a Fan Nation channel for Sports Illustrated. He has covered the NBA since 2010. Shandell Richardson covers the Miami Heat for Inside the Heat, a Fan Nation channel for Sports Illustrated. He has covered the NBA since 2010. The summer of 2023 was rife with Miami Heat trade rumors, of course, as Pat Riley targeted Damian Lillard as its big offseason acquisition. Or perhaps it is better to say Lillard targeted the Heat, because Riley was only mildly interested in a deal in the end. Either way, the Miami Heat trade rumor mill is back up and running, and now comes a new target, Bulls wing Zach Lavine. According to the Athletic NBA insider Shams Charania, Lavine could be Miami-bound. Or, at least, there is interest from the Heat in a Lavine trade. With a gathering of GMs happening in Chicago this week as the college basketball season gets underway, Charania reports, Zach Lavine is a hot topic of conversation. NBA teams are probing the availability of 2-time All-Star guard Zach Lavine, and there's been increased openness from the Chicago Bulls and Lavine about exploring a trade, league sources said. Many of the NBA's 30 general managers are in Chicago on Tuesday for the annual Champions Classic, the major opening night of the college basketball season, and this is where conversations could begin. The Los Angeles Lakers, Miami Heat and Philadelphia 76ers are expected to have a level of interest, league sources said, he wrote on Tuesday. Figure on Zach Lavine, then, to be the subject of Miami Heat trade rumors from now until the deadline for deals arrives in February. There is logic behind the Heat having interest in such a move, of course. Lavine is an ace scorer and two-time All-Star who has blossomed in recent years. He averaged 27.4 points per game in 2020-21 and has willingly sacrificed his offense since the Bulls brought DeMar DeRozan aboard in 2021-22. Still, Lavine has averaged 24.6 points with 4.4 assists and 4.5 rebounds in his last two seasons, and has done so efficiently, making 48.1% of his shots and 38.1% of his three-pointers. He is a versatile and talented offensive player, and whenever a player like that arises, he will be linked to the Heat via rumors. But Lavine also is in the second year of a $215 million contract. He is slated to be paid $179 million over the next 4 seasons, which is a hefty amount for a star player who has taken his team to the playoffs once in 9 seasons, and was swept when the team got there. There would be, essentially, 3 paths to a trade of Zach Lavine to the Heat. First, the Heat could offer Duncan Robinson, who has been resurgent in the early going this year, and veteran guard Kyle Lowry. The Bulls could add another player to that mix to level the salaries and keep themselves below the luxury tax threshold, but those maneuvers would probably involve a third team. Second, frequent Miami Heat trade rumor denizen Tyler Herro could be brought back to the fore. If Herro were packaged with Robinson, a deal could get done. Third, the Heat could package Herro with a trove of young players, Caleb Martin, Jaime Jaquez Jr. and forward Nikola Jovic. That would also fit into NBA trade rules. Now, the Bulls would likely most prefer option 3, with 3 rebuilding pieces, plus Martin, coming back for Lavine. They'd insist, too, on draft picks. From the Bulls' perspective, Lavine is a star and they should get a star return. This is a star return. The Heat would prefer something like option 1, with Lowry's expiring contract shipped out and perhaps a pair of draft picks added. From Miami's perspective, Lavine is a weighty contract that the Bulls want to dump, and the Heat should not have to give up too much to take on others' bad contracts. They took this approach in dealing with both Lillard and 4 years ago, with Chris Paul. The second option is probably the fairest. But Herro spent a lot more time in Miami Heat trade rumors last year than he did on the actual trade block. Would they move him for Lavine? It's possible. But as we saw with the Lillard deal, these things sometimes drag out for weeks and months. And you fan, what do you think of the Zach Lavine situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.